May. We'll see you next time.
Folks, it doesn't get any better than that.
What a performance! He is absolutely fabulous.
I don't believe what I just saw.
This is one of the all-time great moments.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Hazel May, and welcome to this latest edition of MLB Network Presents All-Time Games. Despite the fact that they were facing the two-time defending World Series champions, the Los Angeles Dodgers were full of confidence heading into their 1974 Fall Classic encounter with the Oakland A's. After all, that season, the Dodgers had posted a Major League best 102 victories while boasting the National League's best ERA and highest scoring offense. While the Dodgers pitching has held up its end of the bargain through the series' first 3 games, the offense has been a collective no-show, as they have yet to score more than 3 runs in any contest thus far. Now down 2-1, the Dodgers will look to get the bats going in Game 4 against Game 1 starter Ken Holtzman.
Indian summer still laying over the Bay Area. The temperature in the 80s this afternoon. Another packed and jammed crowd of the Oakland Coliseum as the A's and the Dodgers square off in Game 4. Hi, everybody. I'm Kurt Gowdy with Monty Moore and Tony Kubek. Well, the merry-go-round goes around, and we're back to the beginning. The 2 starting pitchers of the opening game of the World Series are matched up once more. Andy Messersmith, the right-hander of the Dodgers, against Ken Holtzman, the left-hander of the Oakland A's. Alvin Dark, the manager of the A's, says Game 4 is the most important game of the World Series. Naturally, he'd think so, because if his A's won tonight, then they'd be 2 games up and only need 1 more to go. And even before the Dodgers came to Oakland, Walter Alston said if the Dodgers could win just 1 out of 3, he still thought they'd win the World Series. One item we might look for tonight, the young right-handed batters of the Dodgers moving up in the batting box and trying to go to right field more against a very clever and a veteran pitching staff of the Oakland A's has so far has given up more hits, but the A's have outscored the Dodgers. And when we talk about hitting and run scoring in this series, Monty, we haven't seen too much of it. Now, what about the A's? When are they going to break loose?
Kurt, this is a mighty tough pitching staff to break loose on as far as hitting goes. Messersmith and Sutton and Marshall in the group. But if the A's do break loose, I think it would have to be in the middle of the batting order, and everybody looks for the game breakers, Reggie Jackson and Sal Bando. And Reggie denied, I was talking with him just before the game, and said that he may be able to present a new kind of a weapon for the A's, and he showed it a little bit last night when he stole second base, even though it was on a hit-and-run play. Jackson said before the game tonight that his leg does feel good. If he has to steal or take an extra base, he'll do it. But if you ask any of the Oakland A's players who is the real clutch hitter on this ball club who might break the ball game open, it would be Sal Bando. You might say why Bando has gone no hits and 10 at-bats in the World Series, but his teammates have that kind of confidence in him. He, at one time this year, had only 34 hits and had 39 runs batted in. So he's the kind of guy that, if the A's do break loose, could do it.
Now the Dodgers have a very special cheerleader here for the World Series, and he's a fellow who would have played a key figure in this 1974 series. And right now, Tony Kubek's going to talk with him.
Should the Oakland A's win the World Championship again in 1974, it could be because of the elbow you're looking at right now. It belongs to Tommy John, who at All-Star break was the winningest pitcher in the National League. And Tommy, you had a 13-3 record. You never picked up another victory after that.
Right, Tony. I tried to pitch. I think I waited about 8 or 9 weeks and rested some and tried to come back and throw. And it just got to the point to where, I could throw maybe 3/4 speed. But whenever I tried to get the little extra pop on the ball that you need to get guys out like Jackson and Bando, etc., I just couldn't do it. And I couldn't throw a good curveball. And I think I have to have both of them to win. And it just came down to the point that the season was growing short, and I had to make a decision to get my arm operated on or try to maybe play in the series, etc. And I felt the longer I waited, the more it would take me into spring training. So we decided about the 1st of September to get my arm operated on, and at the 25th, Dr. Frank Jobe went in and reconstructed my left elbow.
All right, you sat on the Dodger bench in uniform last night. Al Downing pitched your ball game. Were you agonizing through it all?
Well, yes, because I'll tell you why. I've always pitched well against Oakland, and I've always pitched well in this ballpark. And it's a great ballpark to pitch in during the night games. And a matter of fact, I can't recall, maybe I've only lost 2 or 3 games to Oakland when I was with the White Sox. And they're a good ball club to pitch against, and I think they're challenging. And, you know, and I sat there, and a lot of people said, you know, this was your game. But, you know, I just try to think of it. You know, Jackson 2 years ago was out for the series because of his pulled hamstring. And I like to think maybe this is going to happen to me, where I can come back next year and play next year.
Tommy John, I hope you do come back as an important factor in the National League and for this ball club, the Dodgers.
I'm sure I will, Tony. Thank you.
Good luck. Let's go back upstairs.
And I think baseball fans all over the country hope that he's back in winning form next year with Los Angeles. A surprise change just before game time in the A's lineup. Gene Tennis is in the dugout at the start of this game. Claudel Washington goes to left field, and Joe Rudy comes in from left field to first base. We have tried to check in the A's dugout to find out if there's anything wrong with Tennis, and we can find out nothing so far. It may be one of those last-minute moves that the A's are famous for making, in which they did a lot during this last season. Kenneth Dale Holtzman moving to the mound, his 8th World Series game. He opened the World Series in Los Angeles. This is his 7th start. He has not pitched a complete game in his 6 previous series starts. His series record is 3 wins and 1 loss. Saturday, he went 4 1/3 innings, allowed 1 earned run, 7 hits, no decision. Andy Messersmith was a loser. Raleigh Fingers came in to get the win in that opening game. And now to take you through the first part of today's game, to set you up defensively and tell you about Kenny Holtzman, here's the A's broadcaster, Mr. Monty Moore.
Okay, thank you very much, Kurt, and hi once again, everybody. Ken Holtzman was one of the A's most effective pitchers the last couple of months. He and Catfish Hunter were very strong, but Holtzman in particular, the last 14 games he pitched, he allowed 1.53 for an ERA in the last 14 games. And there is his look at the seasonal record, 19 wins and 17 losses.
Monty, Kurt mentioned before the telecast or before the ball game started that the Dodgers are going to adjust. I talked to Jimmy Wynn about it. Let's see what he had to say about adjustments.
Well, I'm going to change my method. I'm going to move definitely up on the plate, because I think the first time we faced him in Los Angeles, he was throwing nothing but changeups and fastballs away. So that's exactly what I'm going to do.
So Kenny Holtzman goes into the starting role for the 8th time as a World Series pitcher. And he goes against Davey Lopes, the second baseman of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Lopes has been up 12 times in the series. He has 2 base hits. For the season, he hit .266 for the Dodgers with 10 home runs.
Monty, one thing I'm sure the fans across America have noticed, the Dodgers are a first ball hitting team. Most of the members of this young Dodger lineup like to jump on that first pitch. We'll see if they do that tonight.
Last night, Lopes twice went after the first pitch, and of course he drilled one of them into center field. Very exciting player, stolen 2 bases the first game of the series, that went to second and went to third. I don't know what's holding the game up right here, but
They're trying to get some banners removed. There's a bright yellow banner right over Kenny Holtzman's left shoulder. Lopes was about to step into the batter's box, and he said, I do not want to hit out of a yellow background with a white ball being thrown at me. So I think they're going to try and get it removed.
it's tough enough out there without banners, Kurt and Tony. During the regular season, that section of the bleachers is ordinarily covered up with green tarp, and the players have, of course, complained bitterly about having fans in there, but during the World Series they didn't complain quite so much, since they're having to pay good money and the players share in the money in the series. So here's a look at the umpires for this ball game. Don Dinkinger will be behind the plate. He is an American League umpire. Andy Olson of the National League at first. Ron Luciano at second. He's an American League umpire. Tom Gorman at third, the National League. Bill Kunkel, the American League, in left field. And Doug Harvey, the National League, down the right field line. We are ready for baseball here in Game 4 of the 1974 World Series, and Holtzman starts Lopes off with a fastball outside. You'll notice that Holtzman works basically away from all hitters. Strike call, it's 1-1.
Well, you've seen him all year, but his fastball does tail away from a right-hander, doesn't it?
Yes, it does, and he takes shots at that outside corner, too. And this year he's been very, very effective with a let-up pitch. There's the curve that's high for ball 2.
Money, I noticed when Kenny took his warm-up pitches before the first pitch thrown to Lopes, he took about 12, and about 7 or 8 were curveballs. He may change his tactics this ball game.
Missed outside at 3 balls and a strike. Now, Kenny Holtzman has a horror of walking batters, and this kind in particular he doesn't want to put on free of charge. So he may groove one pretty well right here, and Lopes can hit the ball out of the park. He's hit 10 home runs this year. Straightaway center field, Bill North makes the catch, and there's one away. This telecast is presented by authority of Major League Baseball and is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Commissioner of Baseball is prohibited. The Commissioner of Baseball has the right of approval of the announcers of this event. Here's Bill Buckner with one out in the first inning. Buckner so far in the series has 3 base hits. He's been up 13 times, and Holtzman starts him off with a fastball strike.
The fans can see the sun shining brightly on the bleachers, but it is no problem to the outfielders now that is ducked down behind the rim of the stadium.
Here's the curve, and Holtzman has a good one. As that pitch was coming to the plate, Dick Green, the A's second baseman, broke about 8 steps to his left as the pitch was on the way to the plate. When he sees the catcher's called a curveball, he'll do that. Holtzman's ahead of Buckner now at 0-2. Curved him again, and the ball is fouled away. When Holtzman came to the A's from Chicago, he had the reputation of being a curveball and off-speed pitcher. But he came to the A's in the first 2 years here. He threw, I'd say, 80% fastballs. This past year, then, he went back to a lot of off-speed pitches. There's a fastball hit down the line and left. Claudell Washington can't get it. And the rookie outfielder didn't quite get to a fly ball. It hit right in his glove and out. And Bill Buckner is on.
He got a good jump, and Randall almost caught the ball. He had the added advantage of having his glove in his right hand. He did not have to backhand it, and the ball just flopped out of his webbing of his glove. He has speed. He caught up to the ball. He was playing Buckner toward left field, and he thought he had it.
Buckner's played as a pull hitter by the Dodgers. I don't think a lot of left fielders could have reached that ball, except for this 20-year-old youngster who has blazing speed.
I noticed that Rudy, however, has played him much closer to the line than Washington was playing him right then. They give Buckner a double on the play, and Jimmy Wynn is the batter now. Wynn's had 2 hits, 11 at-bats in the series. Pitch it outside a ball. Wynn said before the game he was going to move up on the plate. That means up in the front of the batter's box and particularly towards the plate so he can reach the outside pitch. And sure enough, Holtzman went outside on him. Just missed with that one. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Claudell Washington is only 20 years old. He came up from Birmingham about midseason, a little after for the A's, and has played all 3 outfield positions, left, center, and right. But he's not played left field in some time. He's been out in right a lot with Jackson hurt. Holtzman hit the outside corner, call strike.
And Monty, what you said makes a difference getting a jump on the ball. You're used to the ball coming off the bat at a certain angle in right, and it's different in left.
See how close Wynn is standing to the front part of the batter's box closest to the plate. He's right up on it. And he still was way out front of the let-up pitch. I don't think where you stand is going to make that much difference on the speed, other than if you're going to definitely try to go to right field.
And Dixie Walker was telling Tony and me tonight that he thinks he's finally convinced these young Dodger right-handers to try and go to right field against the A's.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, right here, just a hit to right field would score a run. They don't need the extra base blow here. Buckner, big jump down off second. If they let him get that big a jump, he's got to go. And Holtzman takes his foot off the rubber and drives him back in. Buckner stole 31 bases this year. Curveball fouled off. You can see Wynn just sort of taking 2 hitches and trying to wait on that curveball.
He's a mistake hitter. There's Garvey on deck. Proud father tonight. We'll have more about that.
2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, top half of the first inning. Lord Buckner's got a big lead. Holtzman stopped him and struck out Wynn. So they're 2 down as Holtzman gets his first strikeout. And we've got to say congratulations from everybody at NBC to Steve Garvey and his wife Cindy for a baby girl born at 3:30 this afternoon. 6 pounds and 13 ounces. The baby's name, Krisha Lee. Steve Garvey with 2 down and a runner at second base. The top RBI man for the Dodgers this year. In the regular season, Garvey hit .312, drove in 111 runs. He's had 5 hits in the series. He's close to the plate, but back in the box a little bit. Let-up pitch is a little high.
I'd like to get Tony's opinion. I think he's been the best-looking hitter in this series. What do you think, Tony?
No doubt about it. He knows how to adjust, and it's the kind of staff that keeps the ball away from right-handed hitters. And Garvey all year long has consistently hit the ball the opposite way when they pitch him outside.
He's hit a lot of hard foul balls down the right field line in this series, trying to go that way. He wasn't trying to go that way on that one. He was out in front of a curveball, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. And you notice that Holtzman threw that on a 2-0 count. He'll throw it any time, and he'll also throw the let-up. Kenny doesn't like to call that off-speed pitch a changeup. He says, I do not throw a changeup. I just take something off the fastball. Missed with a curve. He's 3-1 on a tough hitter here. Still a very bright time of day here in Oakland. It's amazing. This game started about 15 minutes earlier than last night's. The difference in the lighting in the park between last night and tonight. Let-up pitch. Garvey out in front again, 3-2.
Monty, I was in the Dodger clubhouse before batting practice, and they were, what's a good word, grizzly. They weren't very talkative today. But when they were taking batting practice, Garvey got the phone call in the dugout that his wife had given birth to.
This week, Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers take on Evan Longoria and the Rays. Tigers, Rays in HD. Tonight, live at 7 Eastern on MLB Network.
Gatorade. That's G.
They say imports always get the best mileage.
Well, do they know this Malibu offers an EPA-estimated 33 miles per gallon highway?
They never heard that.
Which is better than a comparable Toyota Camry or a Honda Accord.
They're stunned. They can't believe it. They need a minute.
I had a feeling they would. There's never been more reasons to look at Chevy.
Get all of baseball all night long with the best analysts in the game. MLB Tonight, weeknights at 6 Eastern.
Andy Messersmith, last half of the first inning, will pitch to Bert Campaneris, Bill North, and Sal Bando. Messersmith, the 20-game winner this year for the Dodgers. He lost only 6. And you look how a guy finishes the season to see how well he is ready to go into a series. The pitch to Campaneris hits him. Campaneris hit on the left arm and looks back over the shoulder at Messersmith. You know one thing, Messersmith wasn't throwing at him.
He wasn't taking. He was going to go after right off the bat. And look at the wince in the face of Campaneris. And are the Dodgers trying to shake up these Oakland A's?
So Campy Campaneris is on. Campaneris had 4 hits in the series. For the year, the A's little road-running shortstop had 34 stolen bases. Messersmith is known to have one of the better moves among the right-handed Dodger pitchers.
He is not the kind of kid to wake up either, Bert Campaneris. He can get on those bases and really terrorize you.
I would imagine Messersmith's going to take a few shots at him here. Bill North's had only 1 hit in 10 at-bats in the series. He had a couple of hits the first day of the playoffs and then went into a slump, couldn't get the ball out of the infield. He takes low, ball 1. The A's know that Yeager can throw the baseball. He proved that to them in game number 1 real quickly.
They don't believe Garvey can, though. Sometimes they may try and bunt down there to make him handle it. And they think Say has trouble charging the slow hit ball or the bunt at third.
During the regular season, the A's didn't bunt the ball too much in this situation because North is left-handed, getting out of that box very quickly and doesn't hit into too many double plays. So they didn't bunt too much, but the last couple of weeks, Alvin Dark seemed to change things and started bunting in this situation because North wasn't hitting all that well. Campaneris, 10 years in a row, has stolen more than 30 bases. 6 times has led the American League in stolen bases. He's going. Pitch is swung and missed. Yeager's throw is right there. Got him. Steve Yeager with a great throw to second base, nailing Campy Campaneris.
Here's Campy again. Messersmith got rid of the ball very quickly to his catcher, Yeager. Looked like a hit and run as Campy kept his eye on that hitter for a long time. Lopes taking the throw. He was playing close to the bag. Here's Yeager, and you'll see by this that that bad leg with a collision with Bando at home plate a couple of games ago is not affecting his jumping out of that crouch and making a throw.
You throw Campaneris out by that much, you've had something on the throw.
North bunts the ball. One hopper to Lopes, and he got him. That kind of about a minute ago, and it would have had Campaneris moved over. So they're 2 down, nobody on, and here is A's captain, third baseman Sal Bando, who's without a hit so far in this World Series. Bando had his lowest batting average for a year this year with 243, but had a very productive year with 103 runs batted in. Bando, Fosse, and Green are all without hits in the series, and here we are in Game 4. 0-1. Bando went 0 for 4 against Messersmith in Game 1 at Dodger Stadium. Throwing the heat to him now. 1 ball, 1 strike. Messersmith has one of the best changeups around, but so far he hasn't been in a position to throw it a lot. Now with nobody on, he may show it to Bando. Foul back, strike 2. 3 consecutive 3-2 games. The A's have won 2 of them. The Dodgers have won 1. He struck him out in a let-up, and that's all for the Oakland A's. The score after 1 inning of play at the Oakland Coliseum. The Dodgers nothing, the A's nothing.
Oakland had as good a team as you would ever want to see in the major leagues. They had a lot of veterans. They had guys that could beat you with the home run. They could beat you with their gloves defensively.
We had everything. We had everything. We had left-hand pitching, right-hand pitching, middle relief, closing. We had a great leader in Sal Bando and a guy that we all looked up to as our captain. It was just a, very nice, close-knit group and played the game to win.
The world is full of priceless things and amazing deals. Find them, share them with MasterCard's Priceless Picks app. Download it now.
You're watching Pittsburgh's Big Ben take care of business, but you're missing rookie Matt Ryan officially introduce himself to the NFL. With DirecTV, you'd see it all. All of it. Talk to me.
To get 8 games on one screen, call 1-800-DirecTV.
Labor Day may mark the end of summer, but for baseball fans, things are just heating up. MLB Network ignites our pennant chase coverage with a Labor Day doubleheader. Red Sox, White Sox at 2 Eastern. Rays, Yankees at 7. Live in HD. And with these 4 teams fighting to make the postseason, this Labor Day is going to be a hot one. The Labor Day pennant chase doubleheader begins Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern, right here on MLB Network. Every day, big games are played.
How about that?
Battles are won.
Game-winning hit.
Milestones are reached.
The 300th victory.
And you need to see every single one of them. Now, catch up with all the action in one lightning fast hour on Quick Pitch every weekday morning. Get recaps and highlights from yesterday's games. Plus a first look at today's matchups. It's all of baseball all morning long. Quick Pitch, weekday mornings only on MLB Network.
half of the second inning. Matty Joe Ferguson at the plate for the Dodgers with a 1-strike count on him, and Holtzman misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ferguson jumped into an early lead for the Heroes role in this 1974 World Series with a home run and a fantastic throw from right field. Pitches outside, a ball, 1-1. Last night had to take a couple of very tough errors as a catcher. Holtzman misses low, ball 2. Joe Rudy's really off the line at first base towards second. How far he is off first base. Strike call, 3-2.
How's Rudy around the back? Tony and I have never seen him play first base in a game of the week.
He isn't too bad, Kurt, but he doesn't really feel very comfortable over there. Here's a scouting report stopped by Dick Green. He throws him out. And now the Dodgers are talking to themselves in this entire series, saying every time we hit a ball hard, there's Dick Green. It's no accident, Kurt.
He's right there. He started 3 double plays last night. Every ball hit viciously to him. And this ball was slapped hard by Ferguson.
Right up the middle, but Green was cheating on him, as was Joe Rudy, as we'd mentioned. Here's Ron Say, third baseman for the Dodgers. Well, what a play he made here last night. There's a drive to center. North going back. Makes the catch a little lower than he usually likes to make them.
Monty, you made an interesting observation when Buckner was up in the first inning. On breaking balls, Green will move toward first base. When that pitch was on its way, he took 5 or 6 steps towards second base, and North in center field also ran toward left center field a little bit. So somebody's giving him signals out there, too.
Right you are, Tony. Billy North said that he's learned playing the hitters from Dick Green this year, and he said more than he ever thought he could ever learn about playing hitters. He watches Green, and when Green cheats, he cheats. Russell takes low, ball 1. No score. We're just underway at the Coliseum in Oakland. 1-1 count.
Vando plays in tight on 3 Dodger batters. Lopes, Buckner because he's a left-hander, and then Russell again because he can run. Lopes and Russell especially with their speed of going down the line.
Bouncing ball to Campaneris. And it's 3 up, 3 down. We've gone through 1.5 innings here in Oakland, and the score remains the Los Angeles Dodgers nothing, the A's nothing.
MLB Network is on the go to a new town every week for a big matchup on your home for the pennant chase. The wild card hopeful Giants take on the division-leading Dodgers. Dodgers-Giants at 10 Eastern, Friday on MLB Network.
Wood finishing projects can feel too big to tackle, but Minwax always makes it easy with rich wood stains and clear protective finishes. It's that simple. Minwax makes and keeps wood beautiful.
People hang on his every word, even the prepositions. He could disarm you with his looks or his hands. Either way, he can speak French, in Russian. He is the most interesting man in the world.
I don't always drink beer, but when I do, I prefer Dos Equis. Stay thirsty, my friends.
Don't miss live baseball action this Saturday and Monday on MLB Network.
Gene Tennis sitting in the Oakland A's dugout. Gino became famous this year in the hair industry when he put a topper on. You can see it there. Reggie Jackson. After a Messersmith changeup and way out front.
That's a tense-looking dugout, isn't it? They're all lying back, relaxed, smiling.
1 strike to count on Jackson. He's had 3 hits in 9 at-bats in the series. 1 a home run off Messersmith in game number 1. He hit him right on the fist with that one, and it kicks off foul. A lucky break for Jackson.
Jackson's had 3 hits. 2 of them have been to left field. He said he's not purposely trying to go to left. He's waiting on the pitch.
Reggie really, for all his strength, Kurt, never hits that many home runs down the line or in dead away right field. He hits most of his home runs between left center and right center. Very rarely does he get a cheap home run. He had a foul pole home run somewhere last year, and I remember they were kidding him about it. he just never hits one like that. It was right here in this ballpark. So look from behind home plate on the first base side of the diamond. Reggie takes low ball. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitchers love to get ahead of a big swinger like Jackson at 0-2.
Cut down on his strikeouts this year.
With 2 strikes on him, you'll see him go into a little bit more of a crouch at the plate and even goes up on the bat handle a couple of inches sometimes, depending. If there's a man at second base, he really does it, but nobody on, he's not doing it right now. I think he was out front of that pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You know, Jackson did a crazy thing this year. Crazy for some people, not for him. When he got his 1,000th strikeout in a game in Chicago, the catcher tossed the ball out to the mound, and Jackson went out and got it and saved it. Drive left center field. Jimmy Wynn makes a fine running catch. Jimmy Wynn with a fine running catch.
We've had some good center field plays so far in this World Series, North and Wynn. He was playing to the right field side of second base and had a long run, and the ball was hit hard and slicing. There's another angle from that low center field camera.
And look at that ball sinking on him. It was sinking rapidly.
When a left-hander swings like that and gets that inside-out swing that Jackson had on it, it was tailing away from Wynn, and when he first hit it, I didn't pick Wynn up that quickly, and I figured that one might be going to the wall because he really hit it hard, but Jimmy got a fine jump on the ball. So there's one down in here, Joe Rudy, who's had 4 hits in the series. He is one of 2 Oakland A's players with that many. Campaneris is the other. Davey Lopes, backhanded stop to Garvey, who saves another Dodger throwing error. Garvey in this series has played beautifully at first base on some mighty big plays.
Well, he's been good all year at coming up with scoops. Here it is on the pickup by Lopes. Makes a fine play. Now watch this pickup. Garvey has saved the Dodger infielders many times this year at throwing errors.
When Garvey played third base for the Dodgers, he made quite a few errors. They had to change it, but it was not because he could not catch the ball. He could always do that, as you see. He had trouble throwing.
Here's Claudell Washington. Pops the first pitch up behind the plate. Yeager's coming back and has no play. Claudell Washington became quite well known here in the Bay Area because he's a Bay Area boy from Berkeley, California. He had quite a season for Oakland after coming up, hit .285. He's had 1 for 1 in the World Series, a pinch hit. He was hitting with power in the minor leagues in Birmingham and has not hit his first home run yet. We pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network. Washington after the changeup, and if he's had any trouble this year, it's been with the off-speed pitch.
Ralph Branca.
Famous words, leave me alone, leave me alone. In the locker room after he threw the home run pitch to Bobby Thompson in 1951.
Washington hits the ball left side deep. They're going to have to hurry to get him. Ball is thrown away, but Claudell can't get around first base. Davey Lopes with a hustling backup of a wild throw by Russell. That saved an error because he would have gone to second. I think they'll have to give him a base hit on the ball.
Here it comes. He had to go a long way to his right. He was playing up the middle. And a pretty good play by Davey Lopes. That's 2 good plays in a row. Ordinarily, Yeager gets down there, but he's got that bad knee from the collision.
Washington can run. There are players on the A's ball club who feel that he might be able to go from home to third faster than anybody on the club. So he's on with a base hit, the first for the A's, and here's Ray Fosse, the catcher. Messersmith went right after him with a high inside fastball. Washington had stolen something like 39 bases in a half a season at Birmingham. Only swiped 7 after he came up with the A's. He was leading that league in just about everything. Pitch is high, 2 balls and no strikes. The way it looks right now with the Dodger pitchers holding the runners on as well as they do, and I think they do it better than anybody we've seen. Baltimore is the closest in the American League, and the way Yeager throws as a catcher, it's going to be tough to run on the Dodgers. Fosse rips 1 foul off third. Bill Rigney, former manager around the Bay Area. He has managed the Giants, managed the California Angels for a long time. He lives right out here in Danville, Alamo.
And the Minnesota Twins. Right now, he's hitting them straight down the fairway.
He was our broadcast partner for a year here in Oakland on radio, and a good one. Greg stays a little bit torn. He sits in the ball games with National League personnel, and he's always been an American leaguer. Well, has been for the last few years. Strike two. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ray Fosse, he's the second Oakland A's player in the last 2 years to have a back surgery and still play in the same season he had the surgery. Dick Green had that in 1972. He struck him out. And that's all for the Oakland A's. 2 innings have come and gone here at the Coliseum, and the score is the Dodgers nothing, the A's nothing.
It was a team owned by Charlie Finley, and Finley was more into a public splash, if you will, or creating some kind of notoriety for some Barnum and Bailey stunt than he was for having a quality product on the field as a baseball team. There were some things, I think Farmer's Day and milking cows and things like that. I remember Hot Pants Day, where the girls came to the ballpark with short shorts and halter tops, and you know, I miss that. I mean, I thought that was a great deal, and I got a couple dates and a couple phone numbers, and so it was exciting for me.
Yeah. May your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. May you stay forever young. May you stay.
Every generation refreshes the world. Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
Rogaine? I'm just a skeptic, so I don't necessarily believe that anything's going to work. But I was like, hey, this actually works.
Only Rogaine foam is shown to regrow hair in 85% of guys.
I'll check it out, and I'm like, nice.
Rogaine foam. Stop losing, start gaining.
Pan pizza's great, but put a ring of cheese in the crust and jackpot. Courtside, great. In between them, jackpot. Pizza night, great. Stuffed crust pan pizza night, jackpot.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new stuffed crust pan pizza. Your favorite pan pizza with a jackpot of awesome melted cheese in the crust. Get a large one topping for just $10.99.
It's my new favorite pizza. Jackpot!
Pizza Hut, America's favorite for pizza, pasta, and wings.
Top half of inning number 3. Steve Yeager, the Dodger catcher, will lead it off. Ball 1. World Series. It's the gathering place for all of the Major League Baseball hierarchy, front office people. That ball's hit well. Washington can't get to it, and it's off the wall. He's throwing to second where Green is covering, but Yeager's in with a double.
Well, Washington played that ball well off the wall and had quite a strike to second base.
He has a pretty good arm. The way that ball went by him, the way he reacted, it looked as if he thought it was gone.
And you can see North comes over from center field to back him up. Yeager, who has the knee injury, had to hustle to make the double. Look at Ron Luciano down there. He's a showman. The umpire.
Monty, they told the A's pitchers, don't give Yeager a fastball. That was a fastball right in there to him.
And he really jumped on it. Well, the Dodgers now are in the driver's seat with a runner at second, nobody down. Their pitcher, Messersmith, squares around and takes ball 1.
He was a hitting star in the first game, 2 out of 3 for Andy.
With the top of the batting order coming on, it'll be interesting to see if they let him swing and try to hit the ball to the right side, or if they have him bunting. Joe Rudy's charging from first base. He bunts it towards Bando. They'll have only one play. That's the first where Green is covering. He takes it, and going to third on the perfect sacrifice by Messersmith is Yeager. Messersmith is a very fine athlete, and all the A's scouting reports indicated that he could hit. He bunts well. He does what you have to do to field your position, and of course he does the number one thing that he's supposed to do, and that's throw the baseball the way it's supposed to be thrown. Was the bubblegum champion, but was dethroned on national television tonight.
They've got the infield in now. They're going to try and cut the runoff at home plate. He's going to pitch from the stretch.
Lopes after the first pitch, and Holtzman, knowing he's a good first pitch hitter, threw the ball that tailed away from him. Did the Dodgers squeeze that much?
We'll have to try anything. Lopes is not a good bunter, oddly enough.
Took that one for a ball.
That was proven in the first ball game when with 2 men on base and nobody out, Walter Alston let him hit away with a 2-0 count. He popped it up.
Yeager's got a good lead down off third, even though Holtzman's working off the stretch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This could be a mighty big out right here if Holtzman can get it without Yeager scoring, because the left-handed Buckner is up next. Though Buckner had the double, he hit it down the line in left field. Here's a look at Yeager from just up behind third base. Good lead he had. Started his swing. Alvin Dark's running out of the Oakland A's dugout. The first base umpire, Andy Olson, gave the safe sign, which meant he did not swing at the pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. He struck him out. Kenny Holtzman took something off the pitch. There are a lot of pitchers who don't like to throw an off-speed pitch in a situation where a fly ball could hurt him, but Holtzman has such a good one and hides it so well, he throws it a lot on 2 strikes in this situation.
The Dodgers, oddly enough, have been a good ball club the past 2 seasons in scoring runners from third base with less than 2 out. They've led the league 2 years in a row in sacrifice flies.
The A's scouting reports indicate that Buckner, who's up right now, likes to drag bunt with 2 out and a runner at third. Ball's fouled off into the crowd. Claudell Washington is playing fairly close to the line in left field, but still not right over there. Bando's in to play at third base again.
Buckner really hangs in there against the left-hander. He doesn't back out. He's just a tough out.
1 strike the count, 2 down. The A's infield back now except for Rudy and Bando, and they are in because of the bunt scouting report. Curve over but low. It's 1-1. Takes a little courage to bunt with 2 out and a runner at third base. You have to really know you got a hit.
Green also, as the pitch is thrown, is creeping toward Buckner.
Curve low and away. Two balls, 1 strike the count. Dodgers with a runner at third, 2 down, top half of the third inning. This is the 4th game of the series. The A's lead in games 2-1. Tried to bust a fastball by on the inside on Buckner and let it get away from him.
That was a good play by Fosse. He saved a run. It's a tough play to make as the ball is tailing in. Here, let's take a look at it again. Watch Fosse move.
Look where his target was. That's why it was such a fine play. He was looking for that ball down and away, and it was up and in. And when a pitcher throws one that hard, it takes some pretty good movement by a catcher. Foul away. We're at 3 balls, 2 strikes on Bill Buckner. One of the most consistent hitting of all the Dodgers this year. Never went over 2 games without a hit. Billy's home is near here, Vallejo, just over the bridge. Buckner giving himself a little fight talk here with 3-2. There's the bunt. Holtzman got it and threw to first. Buckner got a slow curveball to bunt and bunted it too close to the mound.
Going into the World Series, Bill Buckner had made some statements in the paper that only a couple of guys in the A's could play on the Dodgers team. I think he said, Reggie Jackson and Kathy Shunner were the only 2 guys who could even make their team. And of course, the local press blew that all up and everything. And so during the games out there, they just were hounding him big time.
That kind of upset the rest of us in that clubhouse. So somebody put that on the bulletin board, and I only went 5 games that one. It was a little shorter because the Dodgers made us mad.
It's a perfect day for baseball.
2 out, last of the 9th.
With 1 swing, he could win the game.
He winds and fires.
And there's a long
it goes. Back. Holy cow!
As long as there's been the great American pastime, there's been the great American lager.
I don't believe what I just saw!
Budweiser, since 1876.
We didn't know which of the 3,296 Holiday Inn hotels you'd be staying in. So we're refreshing all of them. Holiday Inn, official partner of Major League Baseball road trips.
Hey, do you think you can milk a hamster?
I don't know. Let's KGB it.
Can you milk a hamster?
Well, it's a mammal. Mammals produce milk.
Only one way to find out.
What is this, soy?
Sorta.
Delightful.
Text your question to 542-542.
Well, these games really move, but there's not much scoring, that's for sure. Here's Dick Green. He's 0 for 8 in the series. Messersmith fires a fastball through there for a call strike. One ball, one strike. The A's have one hit. An infield single by Claudell Washington. The Dodgers have 2 hits, both doubles. Like the slider.
Messersmith throwing a lot more hard stuff, fastballs and hard sliders. On the other hand, throwing more breaking balls and fastballs.
Messersmith's ahead of him at 1-2. And he threw another fastball that's fouled off. Both teams have complained about the infields of this stadium and at Dodger Stadium. In the series, there's a high fastball at 2-2. We were asking some of the infielders of both teams tonight what the big difference is, and they said Dodger Stadium is hard, but it's consistently hard. This one has an inconsistent text, they say. Russell takes his time and throws Green out easily, and there's one away in the third. Now the A's pitcher, Ken Holtzman, who had a double in Game 1. He had 2 doubles last year after not batting all year long. And a lot of people who are not acquainted with the American League designated hitter rule wonder about the pitchers if they ever get to do any hitting during the season. And the answer is yes. Every day when they're at home, they have about 30 minutes in the cage just for the pitchers. And it's their, I believe, favorite time of the day.
He's been quite a World Series hitter.
That ball's hit well. It is carrying, and there she goes.
Well, he had a double last year in the series, a double against Messersmith on Saturday, and now a home run tonight.
Set a record as we look at for getting around the bases slowly. Let's look at Buckner, who's playing very shallow in left field.
Where did it go?
Amazing. No sooner did you get the words out of your mouth, Monty, that they're not taking any hitting during the game, obviously. But that 30 minutes they play long ball is all they do. They don't get any breaking balls. They play long ball on that one.
Well, that was a long tater, is what the players call it. Here in Oakland, the players call home runs dingers now. Well, the A's lead 1-0, and who was the last pitcher to hit a home run in the World Series? Was it Dave McNally? Here's Campy Cavaleras. He bunts the ball in the air. First base side, foul ground. Messersmith makes the catch, and that shows you that he is a good athlete. He outran both Garvey and Yeager and went a long ways to get it. 1 down, or 2 down.
The A's were excellent bunters in Los Angeles on Saturday. They've been popping them up or bunting too hard today.
That brings up Bill North. They had the whole play up here a minute ago. someone threw a frisbee out on the field. That home run that Holtzman hit was the second he's ever hit in the big leagues. Third. Scoreboard just said the second, but our statistician, and I'll take him, Alan Roth, says 3.
He won against Atlanta, against Negro, and one in Chicago in '71 against McLaughlin of Cincinnati.
Billy North takes the ball. The greatest of all the figure fillers is right here with us, Alan Roth. Bouncing ball to Davy Lopes. And that's all for the A's, who score 1 run on 1 hit in the 3rd inning, and the score is 1-0 Oakland.
The after party is the one you want to attend. Stay thirsty, my friends.
You can't get Kentucky Grilled Chicken on a value menu.
Yeah, you can. Now you can get the great taste of new Kentucky Grilled Chicken for just $1.99. The new Kentucky Grilled Chicken Value Box, only on the KFC Ultimate Value menu. Unthink, it takes the under $2 side of KFC.
Precision handling, high performance braking, smooth and comfortable ride. Tame the road, hand-cooked tires.
This Saturday night, when the sun goes down, get dressed to the nines as MLB Network goes clubbing with the Tigers and Rays. It's your invitation to the biggest party in baseball. This week, a heated AL battle of postseason hopefuls in Florida as Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers take on Evan Longoria and the Rays. Tigers, Rays, tonight live at 7 Eastern on MLB Network.
Hey, you on the couch. I hear you've got serious pennant fever. You're wild about the wild card. You know every team's magic number, and you don't even think about going to bed until you know where every team stands. Well, we've got the show for you. MLB Tonight. Every team, every race, every big moment. Look live inside important games as they happen while getting the best baseball analysis on TV. MLB Tonight, weeknights beginning at 6 Eastern, only on MLB Network. Finally, the pennant fever cure you've been waiting for.
Top of the 4th inning. Jimmy Wynn of the Dodgers bounces one back off the glove of Holtzman. Green's going to have to hurry. He got him. Great play by Dick Green, backing up Ken Holtzman.
He had a fine game last night. Once again, he may have had the ball, but it would have been a tougher play for him from way behind second base. The ball was deflected by Kenny.
You see another angle here, and you see that he was cheating. Look, he comes right straight back over second base. Look here, he's coming right straight over the bag nearly. So he was right behind the pitcher as that pitch was made. Here's Garvey.
No matter for what position he throws, Green gets something on the ball.
1 ball and no strikes on Steve Garvey of the Dodgers. He struck out his first time up. Low a ball, it's 2-0.
Monty, we heard Jimmy Wynn say they were going to adjust and try to hit the opposite way and move closer to the plate. It's easy to say you're going to do it, but they haven't done it yet. He's still trying to pull an outside pitch.
Here's a ground ball right side, off the glove of a diving Joe Rudy.
Garvey can go to right field.
Looked like he was trying to kill worms or chop down a tree. That was really a swing going down on that ball.
Now, Garvey is probably Dixie Walker, the hitting instructor's favorite pupil. He takes advice, he takes coaching, he puts it in practice.
That's the 3rd hit for the Dodgers. Joe Rudy made a fine try for the ball, but only slowed it down. Here's Joe Ferguson. His 1 hit of the series was a towering blast over the center field wall at Dodger Stadium. It's ball 1, and Ray Fosse will talk with Kenny Holtzman now. Ferguson was born in San Francisco and grew up down in the San Jose area, right here in the Bay Area. Incidentally, the answer to that question a minute ago about who was the last pitcher to hit a home run in the World Series, it was back in 1970, and it was Dave McNally of the Baltimore Orioles. Ferguson takes outside a ball. It's 2-0. The A's won, the Dodgers nothing. We are in the fourth inning, 1 out, 1 on, and Ron Cey on deck. That's low for ball 3. Well, we'll see if Holtzman's going to give in to this big guy who can hit it out of the park. He's got some tough pitches ahead to make.
They let Fergie swing a lot, 3-0.
Strike, he went right on the inside corner to him. Tommy Lasorda, the third base coach of the Dodgers. He walked him, and the Dodgers have 2 on for Ron Cey. That comes from shooting at the corners. Holtzman, however, walked only about 2 men every 9 innings this year. Get a man on and a big guy like Ferguson up, and you pitch a little more finely than you do with nobody on.
Here's a batter you have to pitch outside to. He likes the inside part of the plate, and he'll hit a pitch on the inside part for power.
Had 18 homers this year, drove in 97 runs for the Dodgers. Out in front of the let-up pitch, 1 strike.
Like Gene Tennis, all he's seen is breaking pitches.
The A's playing pretty straight away everywhere. Fade a little bit to left. Foul, strike 2. This is a pretty typical Kenny Holtzman game. They hit the ball, but trying to hit it with power, you've got to catch him in a bad inning. He gives up a lot of hits, but it takes a lot of hits to beat you if you're not walking too many. Curveball, strike 3 called. Ron Cey doesn't believe it, but Don Dinkinger, the plate umpire, says, yes, sir.
Tony, his curve is much better tonight than it was Saturday in Los Angeles.
He didn't use it very often, and this is just the other weapon that a good pitcher has. Hunter does the same thing. We look at the breaking pitch again, and comes around the plate. Very sharp break, equally effective against right-handed hitters or left.
Now here is Russell, the shortstop, with 2 out and 2 on. Throw him a fastball low and away. This is the time of night that it should be awfully tough to see here. They have all the lights on. Right up is low, ball 2, and the A's have some action out in the bullpen. John Blue Moon Odom. Holtzman behind the batter. Fouled off out of play. The Dodger runners at second base, Garvey, he goes back in, and at first base, Ferguson. There are 2 down. The A's have a force at any base. Could be important if he hits one in the hole somewhere. Ball got away from Fosse, but not very far. Runners holding. It's 3-1. Holtzman could really be working his way into a jam here. Yeager's up next, and he's been carrying a hot bat.
Monty, we've talked about scouting reports a lot the first few ball games of this World Series, and I think that's where scouting reports go wrong. They'll say a pitcher is a fastball pitcher or a breaking ball pitcher, but the good pitchers, the consistent winners, change.
There's a drive to right center. Jackson going deep. He can't get it. It goes between them. The Dodgers are going to get 2. Jackson bobbling the ball. Russell's on his way to third. North finally gets it back in, and the Dodgers lead 2-1.
Billy North from our center field camera. Reggie Jackson seemed to circle the ball. There you can see the loop. He did not go in a direct line toward the ball. Russell going the opposite field all the way. Now the relay into Dick Green. No chance for anybody at home plate.
Russell really had a good inside-out swing on that ball. The A's were playing him very shallow, and that really hurt him right there. Now, Yeager is the batter with the pitcher due up next, and 2 bases open ahead of him.
Monty, do outfielders lose the ball in the lights of this ballpark? Jackson looked like he made that funny loop as though he lost the ball. He didn't go right after it.
It could be. I don't know, Tony. There's no sun out right now, but it is a twilight time of night. That's for sure. It's tough. Holtzman's going right at Yeager with a curve, and he fouls it off. Yeager had a double and a solid one off the top of the left center field wall in the third inning. The A's are still pitching to him here with Messersmith coming up. Curve ball, he popped it up. Ray Fosse's trying to find it. He puts it away, and the Dodgers score 2 here in the fourth on 2 hits. The score, the Dodgers 2, the A's 1.
Sunday nights, catch up on all of baseball with a special weekend edition of MLB Network's Quick Pitch. Get recaps, highlights, and analysis of everything you missed from the weekend. All in one lightning fast hour of television. MLB Network's Quick Pitch. Sunday nights at 7 Eastern.
Stay still here, guys. It's all good, man. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it.
You know what? Follow me.
There you go, guys. Enjoy the games.
Heineken Light, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Hey, guys, can you pass me one? Please?
Heineken Light. Give yourself a good name.
You love the game. Now you can own the game when you bring it home with Topps baseball cards. Collect them, trade them, the hottest rookies, the biggest names. Bring MLB home and own the game with Topps baseball cards.
Pan pizza's great, but put a ring of cheese in the crust and jackpot. Courtside, great. In between them, jackpot. Pizza night, great. Stuffed crust pan pizza night, jackpot.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new stuffed crust pan pizza. Your favorite pan pizza with a jackpot of awesome melted cheese in the crust. Get a large one topping for just $10.99.
It's my new favorite pizza. Jackpot!
Pizza Hut, America's favorite for pizza, pasta, and wings.
Go inside the park for big moments of the game. Live, weeknights at 6 on MLB Tonight.
And we just got a look at one of the basic differences in the Dodger lineup and the A's lineup. The Dodgers, from first spot of the batting order right through the 8th, have RBI men. And Russell just got a couple of big ones. Here's Sal Bando taking inside. As a matter of fact, with Messersmith batting, he's hitting .240 for the season. And he is the lowest batting average man in the Dodger lineup. And the Oakland A's as a team only hit .247 this year. Bando takes outside a ball. It's 2-0.
I don't want the Reds or the Mets to get mad at me. Now, I'm quoting the A's. They say the Dodgers are the best offensive team they played against in the World Series.
Pitches up high, 3-0. It is certainly a couple of teams who have a lot of respect for each other in this World Series. I think the Dodgers sort of look down on the A's a little bit more than you might think that they would in their spot. 3-0 to Bando, and it's ball 4. That's the first Messersmith walk of the game. And he now will pitch to Reggie Jackson, who hit a low sinking liner to center field that was caught on a fine play by Wynn. The second inning. For Jackson's home run statistics this year, he had only 14 in this park and 15 on the road. Foul off, strike 1. Russell for the year drove in 65 runs for the Dodgers, batting that low in the order, number 7. Yeager drove in 41. They're playing behind Bando at first base. With Jackson up, Bando's no threat to run.
Tony, Andy hasn't used his change too much tonight. It's a very effective pitch for him.
He's changed quite a bit from the times we've seen him prior to this ball game.
Hard stuff again. You know, with the success that Mike Marshall had on Jackson last night, he came in and struck him out with 3 fastballs in a row. That might have made him want to throw some fast ones. From right down the right field line, you're looking at this game now. It's as if you had a seat right behind the foul pole. There was a big cut. But Messersmith blew it by him. It's 1-2.
We talked about scouting reports and how they stereotype pitchers, say he goes one way. Well, the consistent winner will change from game to game. The same with a hitter like Jackson. If they keep pitching him high, he's going to adjust. He might pop one.
Slash foul down the left field line. Jackson has a lot of room over in left and left center with only Bill Buckner out there. The distance between Buckner and Wynn. Messersmith's ahead of Jackson at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fouled it off, and it was down into the dirt. Yeager didn't have a chance.
Monty, has Jackson, through the last couple of years, been a pretty good off-speed hitter?
Only if they get it up.
Likes that fastball, huh?
Right. A lot of pitchers in the American League try to throw the fastball by him high and inside. The Dodgers haven't done that much in this series. They haven't gone after him that way. They've looked as if they've tried to basically keep it away from him or down. Reggie considers himself a low ball hitter. There's Joe Rudy toweling off. It is dead hot here in Oakland today. This usually is the best time of year for weather. Here's the let-up pitch, and he got him. Andy Messersmith with probably the best changeup I've ever seen.
I was waiting for that one. Sometimes he'll throw 2 in a row to a hitter.
Well, he had Jackson set up. He has been throwing him all hard stuff. So there's 1 away, and here is Joe Rudy.
If you ask him what he's changed about his pitching since he's come over to the National League, he said he's perfected that changeup. Much better than he had when he was pitching with the Angels.
You see, the Dodgers have really changed their defense on Rudy since game number 1 down in Los Angeles. They had Wynn playing Rudy in left center field, and they're playing Rudy now more over in right center. It's almost straightaway center, but shaded to right. And Rudy hits a lot into right and right center. There's a liner to the second baseman. Bando's got to hurry to get back. He didn't get back. Bando is doubled off first base a la Jimmy Wynn last night, and 4 innings have gone by in the Coliseum. It's 2-1 Dodgers.
For some fans, devotion to their team is eternal.
You swear to me that you're going to scatter my ashes in Fenway Park.
But how far will one man go to make his friend's wish come true? What about Sal? Monday at 5 Eastern.
Darth, you're up.
Hold on, I'm at CapitalOne.com picking a photo for my credit card. Here's one from my prom. Oh, what memories.
How about one from our golf outing?
I know. Maybe one of my firstborn's son.
Dad, Mom says the boys gotta go.
Personalize your card by uploading your own photo at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
Hi, there aren't any towels in my room.
Continue.
Friendly service. Real value from your friends at Hampton. There for you and your guilty pleasures.
Welcome back to MLB Network presents All-Time Games. 1974 was a banner season for Los Angeles Dodgers veteran right-hander Andy Messersmith with a National League leading 20 victories. However, it was perhaps the following year in which Messersmith became most famous. Without a contract heading into the 1975 season following bitter negotiations with the Dodgers front office, Messersmith challenged Major League Baseball's reserve clause. Playing the 1975 campaign without a contract, Messersmith nevertheless had a huge season on the mound, leading the league in complete games and shutouts. Things went just as well off the field for Messersmith as his grievance was upheld by an arbitrator, which ultimately paved the way for the free agency system currently at work in the game today. Messersmith has thus far held the A's bats in check as the Dodgers lead 2-1, playing the top of the 5th inning in Game 4 of the 1974 Fall Classic.
Andy Messersmith, top half of the 5th inning against Kent Holtzman. The Dodgers 2 runs on 4 hits. The A's 1 run. They really got it on only 1 hit, but they have had 2. Messersmith has won 20 games in both the American and the National Leagues. Called strike. He was product of the University of California right here just up the road a little ways from the Coliseum in Oakland. Fine college pitcher. Holtzman curved him and got him looking. Holtzman with his 5th strikeout of the game.
And Holtzman went to the University of Illinois.
So there's 1 out. Davey Lopes of the Dodgers will lead off. This is going to be the richest player pool in World Series history. We were watching them tabulate it this afternoon down in the offices here. Last year, the A's, as a winning team, got $24,617 apiece. This year, it should be more. Lopes fouls the first pitch off, strike 1.
Ronnie, 2 years ago, didn't they award the 27 shares and 20 cash grants out of the World Series? The most complicated distribution of World Series money a squad's ever done, I think.
Curve to Lopes, dives down through that strike zone. It's strike 2. Well, Tony's been in those meetings before. I never have, of course, but the players tell me that it's the closest thing to warfare you come to. Curve fouled off.
It wasn't when you were with the Yankee ball clubs because you expected to win, and they gave shares to almost everyone, it seemed like. Full shares to groundskeepers of the grounds crew, 2 clubhouse men. So ours was never warfare.
Well, that's the way life is with the swinging A's.
Now, you're a very generous man, Tony.
From the right field bleacher section here at the Oakland Coliseum, you're watching this pitch to Davey Lopes, and Holtzman missed with a fastball.
One thing we have here tonight, one of the most beautiful skies I've ever seen. Pink clouds overhead.
Right under the Golden Gate Bridge, those clouds came. Curve in the dirt. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tell you, those men who are carrying those cameras on their backs put in a few miles during the course of a ball game, and this is a big park, and they've provided us shots from all over the stadium, high and low. Bouncing ball hit over the mound. Campy's going to have to hurry. Got him. He's got a strong arm. The ball bounces that high. If Lopes gets away from the plate, but he didn't get away all that fast because it was a let-up pitch, and he had to wait on it some and got off balance. 2 out in the 5th inning, and here's Bill Buckner, who's doubled and bounced out to the mound. Well, you know what it's like to be with a team that gets in 3 World Series in a row. The Baltimore Orioles were in 1969, 70, and 71. And it meant a total of $47,000 bonuses to those players for 3 years. Pitch is fouled away.
I think a great friend of Tony's, man that he played under, a coach, Frank Rossetti, who is from San Francisco, received more World Series checks than anyone in the history of the major leagues.
As a player and a coach, I don't know what the number is, something in the 20s, 27, something like that.
Buckner pops up to Dick Green, right behind first base. Holtzman sails through the 5th inning to score at the Oakland Coliseum. The Los Angeles Dodgers 2, the Oakland A's 1.
First of all, nobody liked Charlie Finley. He was our owner, and anything Charlie told us to do, we just did the opposite, no matter what it was.
We really were a tight club. I mean, we got a lot of publicity for the fights and all the other activities that went on off the field, but it was just a mix. I mean, Charlie seemed to bring that out in us. The more he antagonized us, the more he fought us over pay and everything else, the more it made the club pull together. And I think it was really a very strong factor in our winning, because we knew the only way we were going to make any money was winning.
Gatorade. That's G.
In MLB Network presents Inside the Game, featuring Philadelphia Phillies shortstop Jimmy Rollins.
Now, I'm going to give you a little challenge. The ball way up the middle. You got your signature play, I'll call it. Throwing off your knee.
So the ball's up the middle.
All right. So
and about this position, it's weird how it's going through your head. And about this position, you're saying, what am I going to do? He's fast. Okay, I can't get on my feet. So you try to get yourself in a strong throwing position. And when I'm in this position, it doesn't matter anymore. It's just like I'm standing up. Right side behind me, my left's out front. Then it's just a matter of rotating your hips, just like you would do any throw, rotating your hips. Good, accurate throw. You're going to get them out 9 out of 10 times.
To get more great tips from the pros, plus analysis, highlights, and insights, all in HD, watch MLB Tonight, weeknights at 6 Eastern, only on MLB Network, our national pastime all the time. Don't miss live baseball action this Saturday and Monday on MLB Network.
Well, we're going now to the last of the 5th inning. Another one-run ball game. First 3 games decided by 1 run. Right now, the Dodgers leading 2-1. Great job, Monty, in the first 4.5 innings.
Thank you very much, Kurt. And it comes time to go now down to the announcer's bullpen and bring up the guy whose voice is synonymous with all the big sporting events in the country. And Kurt and Tony, it's a great... Oh, I was going to give you a chance there, Tony. It's a great thrill every year to work with the whole NBC crew. And here we go for the last half of the game. Kurt got it.
All right. And in the last of the 5th inning, Waddell Washington, Ray Fosse, Dick Green. Washington had an infield hit his first time up. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 2 hits for the A's. Messersmith has struck out 3. He's walked 1, he's hit a batter. 0-1 to Washington. He works in a hurry. There's a drive in the left center by the youngster. That's his 3rd hit in the World Series. He's 3 out of 3.
Kurt, he's an amazing kid. You know, one of the first games he ever played in the big leagues was against Gaylord Perry, and he just went up there fearlessly and hit a triple off the right center field wall, got the winning base hit. In the 12th, 13th inning, something like that, he just knows no fear and can really swing the bat.
As Billy Norris said, he has cool. He acts like he's playing in his 10th World Series instead of his first. Ray Fosse struck out his first time. He's failed to hit in the series. He's 0 for 10. That's a ball nearly hit him. And the A's are getting hurt down at the bottom of the order except for the pitcher. Fosse and Green have yet to have a hit in this series. The Dodgers, down through the order, have had better hitting. The 1-0 delivery. There's a drive in the left center for a base hit. Washington rounding second. Stopping. Jim Wynn came up with the ball. I thought Tony Washington might go on with Wynn's elbow problem.
He had that in mind, but when he hit second base and started toward third, he saw that Wynn got over very quickly, and they do remember the throw he made last night to home. It did have something on it. It was fairly accurate. Here it is again. Watch the jump by Waddell Washington. Moving towards second. He wants to go all the way, but Jimmy Wynn makes a good play to hold him right at second base.
Now Walter Alston wants to go to the mound and talk to his pitcher.
Kurt, you know, they say in watching Waddell Washington, he's one of the most natural, good base runners they've ever had in the organization. And that little trip he made around second base right then, not even looking at the bag, hitting it perfectly in stride and ready to go if they needed him, was something. Now, Winkles will go over and talk with him. Tony, the Dodgers, do they run any kind of a trick play on the bunt situation here?
They're really not a tricky ball club on defense or offense. They play the game like their manager out in the mound, very solidly.
You've got a speedy base runner down on second base. Takes a lot of the trick plays away, like that shortstop breaking over toward third base for fear that you might get beaten there. But they have tried things. They have plays like the A's did under Dick Williams, which I think they've thrown a lot out of the window.
We're getting some action now. Jim Brewer.
Jeff Zahn.
And
he's
Jeff
going
Zahn
to your right.
Walter Alston going back. Here he is, 21st year as manager of the Dodgers. He's led the Dodgers to 4 World Series victories. Only Joe McCarthy with 7, Casey Stengel with 7, and Connie Mack with 5. And won more World Championships than Walter Alston. Right now, his club is being threatened in the last of the 5th inning. Dick Green, the batter, grounded out his first time. The A's have runners on first and second, nobody out. The Dodgers shorten up at first and third. Green squares away, pushes the bunt. It's a foul ball as Garvey lets it roll.
And right there, they were playing the throwing arm of Steve Garvey. The report says he does not throw well. And, of course, when you've got a good-fielding pitcher like Messersmith who can get over to third base, he's breaking that direction, so you fool him and go the opposite way.
The reason they converted Garvey from a third baseman to the first base, a shoulder separation. That's why he has trouble throwing.
Well, in this situation, Kurt, it's the easiest pickoff play that a catcher has, and that young fellow down at second base, if Green squares around the bunt and misses it, he's going to have to hurry to get back the way Yeager throws, because the shortstop's going to be right on top of the bag.
Washington to second, Fosse to first, nobody out. 1 strike to Dick Green. Dodgers ahead, 2-1. He squares away. This time makes Garvey handle the ball. Garvey throws to Lopes, covering at first base. A sacrifice for Dick Green. And he gets a hand from the hometown A's fan. So he did his job. Now let's see what Kenny Holtzman does. All Holtzman did was hit a home run his first time.
Those are the little things where scouting reports do mean something. Again, playing off the arm of Steve Garvey. But as far as a hitter changing or a pitcher changing, they're not going to do it if the scouting reports tells them so.
All right, the Dodgers bring the infield in. Ken Holtzman's had 4 World Series lifetime hits, all for extra bases, 3 doubles and a home run. Pitch of the strike to Ken Holtzman. Washington, a fast man at third. Fosse, not too fast at second. The outfield fairly deep with the pitcher up and around toward left. Now they back the infield up at short and second. They were in tight. They leave them in the corners. Outside a ball, 1-1.
I guess that's a tribute to the bat of Kenny Holtzman, but you've got to have a little confidence in your pitcher, Andy Messersmith, that he can get a ground ball for you.
Holtzman looking down to his third base coach, Bobby Winkle.
How good a bunter is Holtzman?
I don't remember. He hasn't been up this year, Tony.
Who knows? That's the foul ball. The A's pulled a suicide squeeze in Los Angeles. Campaneris laying one down, bringing a runner in. Now the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes to Holtzman. The tying run at third for the A's, the lead run at second.
Here's the time if he could just choke up on the bat and just hit a ground ball to the right side of the infield, he's got the man home.
And those 2 left-handers, Zahn and Brewer, are throwing hard in the Dodger bullpen. Messersmith pitching 1 and 2. He just missed. He thought he had it.
Good slider.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Bert Campaneris is on deck. High. Fastball over but high. It was close. 3-2 to Ken Holtzman. Now let's see what he gives him. Runners on second and third, 1 out. That's Fosse, number 10, with his back to you at second. Waddell Washington's at third. 3-2 delivery. Struck him out. And a high fastball. So a big strikeout for Messersmith. Ron Say turns his back, signals 2 outs to the outfield. Bert Campaneris is up. But Ron Say stays in tight at third because of Campaneris' bunting ability. Garvey plays it halfway at first.
Messersmith will probably, well, let's see, continue to pitch from the stretch. Hold Washington close.
The windup.
Campaneris has been hit by a pitch ball and popped to the pitcher trying to bunt. 1-0 to him. He's had 4 hits in this series.
Kurt, he will go to right field in this situation. One of the few times he'll ever try it.
A 1-0 delivery. High, ball 2. 2-0. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. 1 run, 4 hits for the A's. Last of the 5th inning. On deck, switch hitting Bill North. Now this is a 2-0 pitch. 2-1. Messersmith has a great assortment. He throws a fastball with real velocity. Alvin Dark knows it. With a slider. Outstanding changeup. That's a bounding ball foul. Bobby Winkle's playing it. Third base coaching box. He's had Rick Mundy, Sal Bando, Reggie Jackson, Joe Keogh, players that played under him at Arizona State. Rod Dadu, the USC coach, is here at the World Series. He has many ex-collegians under him that are now in the big leagues. Arizona State and USC, 2 of the best baseball colleges in the country. Bluffed the bunt down the first baseline. It's 3-2.
And Kurt,
Austin looking up at the count.
And Kurt, if it'd been over there, it's no bluff because he's done that a lot too. He'll bunt the ball to the right side of the infield on 2 strikes.
The outfield way around toward left for Campaneris. Here's the 3-2 pitch to him. And he hits a high fly ball out in the left center. Backing up is Bill Buckner and takes it one-handed. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left at the end of 5. 2-1 Dodgers.
MLB Network ignites our pennant chase coverage with the Labor Day doubleheader. Red Sox, White Sox at 2 Eastern. Rays, Yankees at 7. With these teams fighting for the postseason, it's gonna be a hot one. The Labor Day doubleheader starts Monday at 2 on MLB Network.
It's stinging a little bit more than usual. Yeah, you'll get used to it.
The longer you keep your high mileage car, the more it pays you back. Get Castrol GTX High Mileage. It helps engines last longer by fighting the main causes of engine failure.
I think a dime went on my nose. Yeah, it happens.
Don't change your car, change your oil to Castrol GTX High Mileage. It's more than just oil. It's liquid engineering.
Amy and I are gonna go grab a cab. Did you get the extra, you know?
I've only got 1 left.
Having a big night? Alka-Seltzer's the speedy way to relieve indigestion, heartburn, and headache.
Still hungry?
Mm-hmm. You love the game. Now you can own the game when you bring it home with Topps baseball cards. Collect them, trade them, the hottest rookies, the biggest names. Bring MLB home and own the game with Topps baseball cards.
Into the 6th inning we go now. Jim wins. Steve Garvey, Joe Ferguson facing Ken Holtzman. When he pitched in the National League, Holtzman had a lifetime record against the Dodgers, 14 wins and 5 losses in his 6 years with the Cubs. His first pitch of the ball to Wynn, who was struck out and grounded out. However, most of these Dodgers that are with the present club weren't around then. Wynn lines it into left center. North coming over, and the ball's picked up by Washington. Wynn's into second base and has a double. North tried to make the diving catch. Couldn't come up with it. Waddell Washington had to back him up.
Watch Billy North again on this sinking line drive to right center field. He's made some good catches in postseason play, but this one he could not make the shoestringer on. Can't find it. Wynn with his speed right into second base. Washington has shown a good arm.
That's the 5th hit for Los Angeles. Now Steve Garvey, he struck out, he singled. He has the most hits of any player in the series, 6. it away at home plate. 0-1 to Garvey. 5 hits for the Dodgers. 4 have been extra base hits. Double by Buckner, double by Yeager, a double by Russell. That was the big hit. Brought in 2 runs and a double by Wynn.
Garvey, the man you went up in this situation. He goes to right well. Holtzman will probably curve him down and in. It's a tough pitch to go the opposite way.
He hits it to third. Bando looks the runner back. Fires a strike to first to Rudy. There's 1 down. And he pitched him in that exact spot, down and in.
There's a fastball, a sinking fastball, and that is just plain smart pitching.
Joe Ferguson has grounded out and walked. Jim Wynn at second, 1 down. Another 1-run ball game, 2-1 Los Angeles, 6th inning. We have action again in the Oakland bullpen. That's not a cable car. John Odom warming up again.
Not a train off the track either.
Somebody pulling for a dinger for the Dodgers here in Oakland, Marty?
1 ball, no strikes to Joe Ferguson. A curve by Holtzman. Being careful with Ferguson not to give him a fat fastball. Blue Moon Odom. 2nd time he's been up in the bullpen. The next scheduled batter for the Dodgers is Ron Cey. 2 balls and a strike. In the first 5 1/3 innings, Ron Cey waiting for his shot. Holtzman has walked just 1 and struck out 5. During the regular season, he was not a strikeout pitcher, averaging 4 strikeouts every 9 innings. The 2-1 pitch. Big bounding ball to Bando. Again, he looks Wynn back. Fires across against the slow runner. Has him there, 2 down. Ron Cey has lined to center and struck out. He's 0 for 2. So far, they've stopped him fairly effectively. He's had only 1 hit in 12 times. Every man in this Dodger lineup has had at least 1 hit in the World Series. Wynn led off with a double. He's still at second after Garvey and Ferguson have bounced to third. I think it was 45 or 47 men played third base for the Dodgers over a stretch of the last 10 years. Ball gets away. There goes Wynn to third. Fosse does not throw. He didn't think he could get him and held onto the ball. That'll be scored a wild pitch.
Let's watch it again. He got that glove out off the heel of it. Many catching coaches recommend getting down and not reaching out with the glove. Just because of that reason, you hit the ball away from you. He decided not to throw it away, and there are a lot of ways he can score, of course. Wild pitch, infield hit, infield error, pass ball, wild pitch when he's at third.
1-0. He rams it to Bando and a skidding hop. Bando makes the play. It was a difficult play for him. No runs for the Dodgers. 1 hit, they left 1. 5.5 gone. 2-1 Los Angeles.
We had a crazy crew. There's no doubt about it. Everybody on the team had a short fuse. You know, we were always fighting about something. It was like picking a ticket in the clubhouse. Who was going to fight that day? Every day, somebody was fighting. It was Reggie and Billy North, Reggie and Mike Epstein. I got into it with Blue Moon Odom one time at the World Series. I mean, you know, somebody just say something if they were having a bad day. Next thing you know, they were on the floor beating the heck out of each other. That's just the way that club was.
On big league fields, in the stands, and in backyards. If it happens in baseball, it happens in Majestic. Introducing the new replica from Majestic, bringing you closer to the field than ever. If it happens in baseball, it happens in Majestic.
Garth, you're up. Hold on, I'm at CapitalOne.com picking a photo for my credit card. Here's one from my prom. Oh, what memories. How about one from our golf outing? I know. Maybe one of my firstborn son.
Dad, Mom says the boys gotta go.
Personalize your card by uploading your own photo at CapitalOne.com.
What's in your wallet?
Yo, may your hands always be busy. May your feet always be swift. And may you have a strong foundation when the winds of change shift. And may your heart always be joyful. And may your song always be sung. Sing it. May you stay forever young. May you stay.
Every generation refreshes the world. Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball.
Get all of baseball all night long with the best analysts in the game. MLB Tonight, weeknights at 6 Eastern.
Bill North has grounded out to second base twice. Better hitter right-handed than left-handed, isn't he, Monty?
Well, he started off that way, Kurt. He had to learn to hit left-handed, but he ended the season about 260 each way.
He's 1 out of 12 in the series. And Messersmith's in with a strike to him.
We had a hard time getting started this year, Kurt. He hit 280 last year in his first season with the A's, but as late as after the All-Star break, he was hitting only 220. Ended up the season at 260-something.
1-1. Messersmith has walked one. He's hit a batter. He struck out 4. Allowed 4 hits. And he's trying to hold on to a 1-run lead. Look out. 2 balls and a strike.
Billy looked like the first couple of pitches he was going to left field, trying to play off Ron Say, hit a ground ball by him as he's playing up shallow, and he came inside.
Look at his head off that ball. He's been in a miserable slump. He's had only 5 hits in his last 60 times up. 2 balls, 2 strikes. North leading off in this inning. Another foul. We pause briefly for identification. This is the NBC television network. Kurt Gowdy, Tony Kubek, and Monty Moore again from the Oakland Coliseum. Another packed and jammed sellout crowd on a very warm, pleasant evening. What weather we've had for this year's series. Temperature in the 80s in Los Angeles, and here in San Francisco. The 2-2 delivery. Inside, 3-2. What happened to these chilly nights we all heard about out here?
Well, Kurt, this time of year, you don't get that fog that we have so much during the July and August and June season. This is the best time of year always. We forget that one night it rained here last year.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Bill North is on. Bad man to walk. He led the American League in stolen bases with 54.
Now Sal Bando steps in. Let's go back to the 6th inning when he made a play. You see the quick reflexes a third baseman has to have on that shot off the bat of Ron Say with Jimmy Wynn on third base. Yes, you do have it, Sal. He's got one of the most accurate arms in baseball along with it.
Bando cuts away at the first pitch. Look at Yeager hopping around behind the plate. 0-1 to Bando. The A's are not exactly running rampant on Dodger catchers, especially against Yeager, who's been wearing a cannon on his right side. North trying to jockey for a lead with Garvey holding. Campaneris was thrown out in the first inning trying to steal by a big margin, and Bando is in a hole now, 2 strikes. They're just jamming him with fastballs.
Looks as if he's getting some fastballs here because North is on. Messersmith's fastball tonight has been, looked to me like it's been his best pitch.
Sal hasn't had a hit in his last 15 up in the playoffs in the series. North back.
With 2 strikes, Bando, as you mentioned earlier, does go to right field, and there is a big hole as Lopes is playing well towards second base. Garvey holding the runner.
2-strike delivery. A high foul into the seats down the left field line. Dodgers are leading 2-1. The A's scored in the 3rd. Kenny Holtzman hit a home run in the left field. And the Dodgers went ahead in the 4th. With 2 down, 2 men on, Bill Russell doubled to right center to drive him in. And that's been the scoring. A low throw, Garvey scooping.
Lopes cheats about as much towards second base as any second baseman I've seen recently in a double play situation, leaving a big hole to his left.
Big lead that time by North. He had to really dive back.
Kurt, he runs a lot on no balls, 2 strikes, and I'm sure the Dodger scouting reports have indicated that.
Messersmith with that quick move to first and holding these runners.
Thing to watch on some of these Dodger pitchers, they have been taught in recent years a little bit of a bulk move. They'll cock that left knee, almost imperceptible unless you're watching it closely. And they'll decoy the base runner, deceive him into thinking they're going home.
It's still 2 strikes to Sal Bando. And now it's a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Again, Messersmith throws the fastball tight to him, trying to crowd Bando. For him to handle that kind of stuff to right field would be most difficult. 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the ball getting away, and North goes to second. Well, that's what a great base runner by North will do. Some way, somehow, continuous pressure can force you into that mistake.
Here's North again, coming back. He tried to dig it out of the dirt. Didn't. Look at North. Take a look over his shoulder like good base runners will. They don't rely on coaches unless they absolutely have to. Here it is again. It was not a bad throw. The ball did not hit the dirt. It hit off the thumb of the first baseman's glove of Garvey.
Well, they scored an error. It's probably going to be on a pitcher, but we'll check for the official score. Now, North's at second, nobody out. And a 1-ball, 2-strike count to Bando, and Bando fouls it away.
Kurt, they got a break there. The Dodgers did that ball hit Billy North on the leg because this foul line area here, which we talked about the first night, with Jackson on deck waiting, is the biggest in baseball, at least in the American League. He could have gone to third.
1-2 pitch coming up to Sal Bando. It's a high foul fly headed toward the seats. Bill Russell racing for it, and it is out of play. Russell lost his cap on the way over. Bill Buckner